Yeah.
Okay. So, hi, Pops. You want to state your name and everything?
My name is James S. Scott. I'm 72 years old.
Thank you. And I'm going to be asking you some questions about the Vietnam War and the kind of cultural changes that you saw in that time. Is that all right?
Yes.
All right. So, at the time, what was your perception of the war?
The first thing I heard about the war was whenever I joined the National Guard while I was in high school and went off a month after my graduation. And the war hadn't started at that time. That was July 7th I went off. And whenever I got through my school, 8 weeks of training, and then you did a school for about 8 weeks, and we had one guy that was going to Vietnam, and he was upset because that's the first thing I heard about it. So it was right around probably September, something like that.
All right.
People weren't happy with the war.
Yeah.
People didn't think we needed to be over there, and we lost a lot of young guys.
Why do you think people weren't happy about it?
Well, we're losing people, losing soldiers in there. I think about 50 something thousand seemed like got killed over there, and then that's not even counting what got shot up or messed up for the rest of their life.
Yeah. All right. And could you say that there was a pretty strict dichotomy between people who supported the war and people who were against it?
Yes, yes. People, people. Whenever the veterans used to come back from the Vietnam War, people used to cuss them and spit on them, and it wasn't good around here. I mean, he finally brought everybody out of there before the war was actually over. So, but they weren't praised like World War II veterans were. Okay.
What do you think led to that change?
Well, in World War II, I think we lost about 500,000 men that's in the service. And every day they'd give you a count on TV about how many had died at that time. And it kept going up from 30 to 40 to 50, and I think it was somewhere around 55, 56,000 soldiers that got killed in Vietnam. And it was something most people felt like we didn't need to be into.
All right. And being in the Guard, do you think that gave you a different perspective on the war?
No. The war didn't. Whenever I joined the Guard, it was you had to do your military time. You had to do some type of military. You had a draft card that you had. I still got my draft card, my thing whenever I was in the service upstairs. So if you want that, I'll give that to you and let you use it if you want it. But I got a good friend that was in Vietnam. They dug holes. The Viet Cong dug holes, and they would go underground so far. And I got a good friend that was call them a rat or something, where they would go down in those holes to see what was down there.
What kinds of things would they find? And
Well, they'd find the Congo in there, the Viet Cong in there, and or either they would have left there and gone to another location. They had a lot of tunnels in Vietnam, so, and that's really where the drugs started, with most servicemen probably doing a lot of drinking and doing a lot of marijuana. So that's one thing that, this world changed at, as far as I'm concerned. But I never heard of marijuana till after about the Vietnam War started.
so you think the war was responsible for the rise in drug use and stuff?
That and the hippies in the country. The hippies, you know what a hippie is?
Yeah, I know what a hippie is. All right.
They just lived a different life, and it was felt like the drugs and marijuana and drinking and all like that was just okay. It kind of started where the country wasn't together on anything.
So, overall, you think that the war and the change throughout it led to a completely different country afterward, even though the war happened overseas?
Yeah, it was a big change here.
All right. Could you draw any parallels between that and today?
I don't think so. The Vietnam War was one that we finally decided we needed to get out of, and they left all their equipment over there and just flew the people out, got them all out of there. But it was still POWs or MIA, people missing in action. There was, I don't know how many that was missing in action or probably killed, and they didn't know about it.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. Thanks, Pops.